Hello, this is Crypto CJ. Welcome to today's trade of the day. It's the Friday afternoon Zoom edition. And we've had a lot of great activity this week. Bitcoin hit 67K or pretty close to it yesterday. About 10% drop today though. So but that's to be expected. Let's go ahead and look at the Bitcoin chart. Okay, are you seeing my Bitcoin 1 hour chart? Are you seeing my Ethereum chart?
PMX, Ethereum.
Ethereum.
That's not the one I want to show you.
There's
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin 1 hour.
That's Bitcoin.
All right, good. Okay, let's look at the day chart. I had to update my fibs because we broke through the all-time high I had back from May or April. Just slightly though, up to 67K. And then pretty much a 10% drop, like I just said. Let's look at the 4 hour. I drew a trend line. And what I'm thinking Bitcoin's going to do, I think it's going to break the trend line, probably come down to around 58 or so over the weekend. It's pretty similar to what Bryce talked about in the CryptNation call yesterday, in the Lifer call. And then it wouldn't surprise me if it bounced and continued its way back on up. But yeah, we're going to see these corrections 10 to 15% as Bitcoin goes up. So those really don't surprise me. It's something we need to take into consideration into our day trading and swing trading as well. Ethereum is following nearly identical. So this is a 4 hour chart. Yeah, I've got this trend line here. And it's pretty consistently following these lines. It'll make a break, test support and bounce off, pick up another 10 or 20%. And then drop again. So yeah, pumped up 18% from that trend line, then dropped 12. So, and Bryce again went over the big news of the week, the ETF being approved by the SEC, which pumped up the Bitcoin price. Really good news for Bitcoin overall and the whole crypto industry. So, but the inevitable correction comes today, and maybe even further tomorrow, or could just bounce off that trend line and continue up. So we'll see. All right, any questions about Bitcoin or Ethereum or the market overall before we go over to Altcoin Alert? All righty then. Altcoin Alert, we don't really have much to work with on the AA score. You've got a low 80, you're on Axie. Refreshing. Yeah, this is the only one in the very bullish area. I don't usually look at anything below 85. So as far as purely just the AA score, we'll go ahead and check this out. I've got this screen up here, or this chart up here with some trend lines drawn in. We had a pretty big pump up here and then a drop. Well, let's look at this overall first. On the day chart on Axie, we hit the all-time high on the 4th, 155, and dropped 10, 15%, 20% actually, and then working its way back up today. On the 1 hour, pretty nice move today, all the way up to 132, then a drop about $7. About 5%. Wouldn't surprise me if we could catch it down here and then get a retrace. So let's look at that option a little more closely. The 5-minute chart, We have recent support right around here, around 121, 120, or yeah, 121. So my plan on Axie would be to set an alert down here to get a good entry. Maybe up here around 121.50. So a bundle of candles down here. And then my goal is one of these three exit points here where we see a more confluence or more congregation of the candles. Plan A would be, let's say we catch this around right down here, 121. So here at this 126.20 area, our profit would be 4.3%. If we hold it up here, 6.7, and up here, 8.5. So obviously, holding for these longer retraces is riskier. I often, when I'm confronted with a scenario like this, I often choose the middle. So I probably hold it to this place right here on 129 and change. Plus, you have the round number of 130. I like to set my my exits slightly below round numbers. Of course, other traders do that too. So then you have to go a little bit lower. So I'd be probably around 129, 2 or 3 or something like that. So that's my suggestion, not financial advice, but a plan for Axie. Any questions on that? Let's look at ENJ as well. I don't usually look at only those in the 70s, but this one's had some interesting movement lately. You know what? That's not right. I'm confusing this with Elrond, EGLD. But since I'm here, we'll check it out. The all-time high here on April 9th, just over $4. Really hasn't come close to even half that. Well, actually, it was around 220 here at the end of August. Then it dropped again. Nice move here. Seemed to follow the Bitcoin pump yesterday. Almost hit $2. Now down closer to 180. 5-minute chart, just a lot of chop here. Trading range. Could have a retrace to 190. So you can catch it down here between, say, 179 and 177. Caught it at 170, 179. Up here to 184, be 3%. If you pile up a lot of 2 and 3% trades, your balance can grow pretty quickly. Some resistance here, around 5% at 188, then up here to 6.2% at 190. So I think I'd view it more as a swing trade to try to get back up to here under current conditions for 5%. Not bad. All right, let's do some other sorts on Altcoin Alert. Let's go with social activity. All right. So on these other sorts, I'm usually looking for an AA score of neutral or better, some positive action on trading activity. And I like the poop emoji here on LTO. And then Rune looks pretty good except for the bearish on the AA. But I actually have a low buy order in on Rune because Rune and Luna are a couple coins that frequently buck the trend when it comes to Bitcoin. So I like that about them. Serum has been on the AA scores a couple times recently. I'd like to see a better Elder Impulse daily. Generally speaking, the long-term and short-term sentiment are Twitter chatter about the project, and then the Elder Impulse is a combination of like momentum and other technical indicators, trend, things like that. So, you know, sentiment's popularity, impulses is the statistics. That's kind of how I think about it.
Q&A question, a general AA question.
Sure.
If you're looking at Serum, can you, when I try to use the exchange lookup that's inside of AA, I can't get it to work at all. So I end up going outside to look. Does that work for you? I mean, could you just look up Serum and see where you can find it on exchanges?
Okay. It's not your fault my sound isn't as good, but I think were you trying the ratings feed or the exchange lookup?
Exchange lookup.
All right. Yeah, I was in a chat earlier this week with Alan and on the ambassadors channel, and they said that, you know, they have so many coins now that when somebody hits the exchange lookup, it has to download everything, and it can be slow. So try it now, but to answer your question, I don't use this very much. Yeah, it's frozen. So
Yeah, that's what happens to me. I mean, I've never used it because every time it does this. So
yeah,
I didn't know if I was
just
doing something wrong.
type on TradingView. You can just type in anywhere, it'll start to come up.
Yeah, it's just sometimes when you're looking at AA, it would be not. I mean, they've got it built in. It seems like it would be nice to just.
Yeah, it's just
quickly
not
look.
responding fast enough. And, you know,
Okay.
I've got 10 windows open and a VPN on, so it's probably a little bit my fault too. So,
And they're aware of it. So.
but yes, they're aware of it. So,
Okay. No
All
big
right.
deal. Thank you.
all right. So on ENJ, I think we were done with that one, right? So yeah, let's go back. Oh, we were trying to find something with the social activity sort where we get a bullish on both the Elder Impulse daily and the long term. And we do have Rune, but it's bearish on the AA. Mana is bullish on both, down slightly today, thumbs down in trading activity, but bullish on AA score. I don't think we're going to find any perfect or any ideal listings today. So let's go ahead and look at both Rune, and we'll look at Mana as well. Okay, Rune hit the high back in May at $21 and change. Lost about, well, wow, really took a beating. It was recovered almost half that. Had some nice momentum last couple of days. Up to 1132. It's down to 1055 now. So, you know, the strategy for this is going to be similar. Try to catch the low down here on the short-term support, maybe just below $10. Got some support here around 1050. Resistance here at 1076. More up here at right around $11. So probably look to buy below right around the current support, and then ride it up here to between 1050 and 11. You know, sometimes what I do is I'll go for the more aggressive approach on the first day of the trade. Let's say I do catch it, and then I set my sell order here at maybe just under $11, say 1098, and by the evening it has not hit that. If it's here, I'd probably be content with that and just exit the trade before I go to bed. If it doesn't, then I'll if it's still, you know, hanging around here or down below, I'll probably lower my sell order when I go to bed to 1050. And then maybe put in a low buy order in case on an anticipated ladder buy in case it goes against me overnight while I'm sleeping. So that's kind of how I approach some of these afternoon trades when I try to do most of my trading in the early morning, but sometimes the alerts go off in the afternoon and then they don't quite resolve when I want them to. So that I've been doing that a lot lately. I've been lowering my sell target to try to get out in the late evening before I go to bed. And then if that doesn't happen, I'll put in a low buy order on an anticipated ladder buy, usually 6 to 10% below my initial purchase. So that's how I do that. All right, so that's Rune and we're Thorchain. And we were going to look at Mana as well. And if I forget, we'll look at Solana because I know some of you guys are into that. I don't have a long-term position in it, but I do trade it a lot. All right, so on this, we've got bullish on long-term sentiment and the Elder Impulse Daily. We like that. We have a thumbs down on the trading activity. We don't like that. So, but again, we're beggars can't be choosers. We're going to go ahead and check this out. Over the overview. All-time highs up here in May. This one has not returned to that. Got about halfway there and dropped again. And has been trending up the last few days, but not today. Well, it did this morning and then dropped. So another retrace opportunity here. All right, so we really had a nice dip sequence here earlier this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, sort of a 4 dipper. So if you bought it on the third dip, right around here, 0.6% before it dropped. And SMA line was about 0.8%, but didn't quite reach it. So I would do with this what I did with Axie and some of the others, put a low buy or put an alert in this support area, short-term support area around 77 cents. And then try to ride this to, got some resistance here around 1.3%. Some more in this area here, 1.9. A little bit here, 2.6, and then more up here at 4%. I like the others we looked at before this better. They're just, more lucrative. They move better. So not thrilled with Mana. So I think I'd pass on this one. And Solana, let's look at that one too. Not really because it's got a lot going for it at the moment, but well, it doesn't really have anything negative. It's got neutral and bullish. It's only up about 5% today. So
it just turned around. Did you say you had a short on it?
Yeah, I had a short. I was testing these new indicators. So
you might have got out of it already.
Yeah, I got out before this. So yeah, I got in at 198 something and got out around 196. So yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring up a different chart, more what we're used to seeing on Solana. All right, the 1 day.
It's going to go up and hit 216 again.
It might.
It will. I know this stock.
Oh, you do, huh?
This is my coin.
Yeah. think there's a meme saying I'm a soul man, after the old rhythm and blues song.
Oh, cool.
If
I'll
you
have
were
to
if
find
you're a
it.
man, it would be more applicable, but
Yeah,
soul woman.
that's cool.
All right, 215 and change for 217 around there for the all-time high. September.
Yep.
It touched it again today.
Yep. Do a nice pullback, and then it's gonna rock.
Shoot. Go ahead and take over, Laura. We don't need me.
Yeah, nope, that's,
At least on this subject,
no.
right? So where do we get in? We like Sol. We want to buy it. Where do we get in?
You play along and you do it right now.
Hmm.
It's not a short, it's a long situation.
Yeah, if I were gonna swing trade this or spot trade it, I'm getting lower lows here in the short term. Let's look at the 15-minute chart. Broke short-term support. There's some more support down here around 180. Laura doesn't think it's
No
going
way.
that low.
Nope, it's already where it's going.
Well, it's kind of a squeezy dip. Not much of a bubble. 1, 2, 3,
Ugly bubble.
4, and it's getting squeezier here. So yeah, I'm not seeing this as a 1, 2, 3 dip candidate at the moment. So, if you believe in it, if you're passionate for it, like Laura is, you can go ahead and buy it now. I'd probably wait for at least a couple green candles on a trend trade. Catch it around here. Don't like buying near the SMA line, but for this, to show the resistance, I'm gonna go ahead and pretend that I do. This group here at 338%, not bad. Some more resistance here at 6%, and then the all-time high. Not necessarily, well, the recent high is around 213. That would be an 8% trade. So those are all really good day trades.
Do that.
And you might, I would probably make sure I have some funds available to ladder buy this at least once, maybe twice, if necessary, over the weekend. Generally speaking, the weekend volumes drop some, and that can push the prices down. But we've had better activity on the weekends last few months, so that rule isn't quite as consistent as it used to be. All right, so that's Solana. Any questions on that? I got a chat. Oh, Brooklyn's here. He wants me to.
Yeah, CJ, I'm fascinated by some of these charts where the prices going up and going down all fall within the 50-day Bollinger Band, like this one.
Mm-hmm.
The Bollinger Band is looking backward 50 time slices, depending on your scale.
Right.
And it's like people do whatever they can to stay within the band. It has nothing to do with the value of the crypto. They just want to stay in the band. And the same thing is happening with XZT. If you want to look at that one later. So I think Laura's right here. It's going to bounce back up to the top of the band.
Yeah, well, the bands react to the candles, and I'm not sure how actually Bollinger Bands are created. I think it has something to do with the candle action and the momentum and the volume and some of those things mixed in. Similar to the RSI and the money factor. Well, money factor index is just the money, but has something to do with volume. So we have our MACD down here too. But sometimes these are all congruent, and then it just goes the other way for no reason in particular. But yeah, a lot of traders use the Bollinger Bands for support and resistance. You and I have talked about how these things can be a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it happens all the time. So that's as traders, not only are we looking at the charts trying to figure out what's going to happen, we're also trying to think, what are other traders thinking? And there can be quite a bit of overlap there. So all right, let's see.
So he's saying that Tezos has been bouncing just between bands.
Well,
Yeah, it's a similar pattern, but it's more magnified and a lot more percent gain.
Ah, okay.
Like it's the chicken and the egg. It's like the bands. Oh, you just left the screen. On the Tezos, you could see that like when it left the band, well, then the band followed it. The bands are reacting to the candles, not the other way around.
yeah.
So in the middle of the screen there, where it takes that big dip, it had been in that tight channel, and then the candles leave the band, and then the band gets really wide to try to accommodate that and catch up.
I'll go to a day chart, CJ. It's a sawtooth inside the Bollinger Band. And it's riding the upper half right now.
Mhm.
Wow.
But the band doesn't exist up there until the prices go up there because the band follows the prices.
Yeah, but it's a 50-day average looking at the past.
Mm-hmm.
So the bands come first and then the traders go nuts. So I agree with what CJ said. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy based on some green band.
You know, it
Hmm.
never occurred to me to figure out how these are calculated, so I'm not sure. I mean, you guys could both be right. So, but there could be elements of both the candle action and you know, the past indicator. So,
Yeah, I'm going to look into it a little more too, just because now I'm curious.
yeah. All right.
So are you playing this?
Are you talking to me or Patrick or John?
Patrick?
Oh, I have a little bit in a lot of stuff and I'm very disappointed in them all. So I like carbon better.
Ah, okay.
All right, we'll
Can I
talk
look
about that a
at-
little
can I look
later,
at
but
When we're done with
On,
it.
okay, so keep this one for later too, but if this is gonna stay between these bands and you're watching this roll between the bands, I wonder if it's what's the distance between the pink and the top of the Bollinger Band? Is that worth trading? We've seen it 4 times there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 3.
yeah, this is a day chart, so
Oh, a day chart. Okay, never mind. Oh, but it is. No, that would be worth looking at.
well, some traders don't go this low. I mean, you know, I'm a day trader. If you're a swing trader, you might be looking at the hour chart, and your distance between the SMA line on the hour chart and the top of the Bollinger Band's 4%. Yeah, that's not bad, especially if you're on leverage. But on the 5-minute chart, it's going to be, you know, that's pretty small.
And on the day chart, they're 40% swings
Mhm.
over the course of maybe a day or two.
Right,
Man,
and
that-
it was
And
things like
it's a
this.
cheap
That,
price.
yeah,
You
it
could
was
make a lot of money if you could predict that.
definitely. And it was, you know, charts like this that made me join CryptNation to begin with, to learn how to swing trade. But I found I just didn't have the patience for it, so I prefer day trading. But, you know, holding something when it's in profit beyond 10%, I'm practically incapable of that. So I'm going to dump it and take. You know, they say it's so funny yesterday. You know, take your profits. Like I have the opposite problem. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah. But
Well, I'm gonna paper trade this one, and
Okay.
we'll see, Patrick.
all right. All right, so I've got some suggestions in the chat for T Fuel. We already looked at Rune and Mover, and we already looked at Solana. So
Can we look at IOTA when you get a chance?
IOTA,
Yeah,
okay.
have you looked at that lately?
I mean, where'd they come up with that name? I mean, seriously. The only time I ever heard of IOTA was, yeah, I don't give an
Yeah,
I used to drive
Agreed.
an IOTA, but I traded it for a
IOTA,
Honda.
you know? Oh, yeah.
250 back in April. Got up to $2 again in September, down to 135 now on the hour. Got some resistance at about 138, so 135 now. not really seeing this as a good retrace day trading. I mean, it's not as good as the other ones we looked at. So
I was
if
looking
you
at the
want to
day
hold it
chart, and it looked
longer,
like it was bouncing off of a resistance line. But when you dial down to 5 minutes, I don't see it.
it's only 3% between the Bollinger, so it's bubbling, but it's kind of squeezy earlier. Get a nice dip sequence here this morning, but otherwise I'm not seeing a trade here, but at least not in the short term.
All right. Thanks for looking.
All right. Alan's chiming in. Internet of Things. It's IOTA, but we don't know what the A is for.
Okay, okay.
All right. I'll look at T-Fuel. And we drifted from Altcoin Alert briefly. I'll do one more sort in that, and then I'll throw it open. But T-Fuel follows Theta. They're sort of intertwined. Had a high in June, 67 cents. Lost about half. Reclaimed quite a bit in September, but lost it again. The hour chart, big spike up to earlier this morning.
Ooh,
Up to
yeah.
31 cents, gave up a lot of that. Well, 2 cents, but this is kind of a mess too. Yeah, this looks like what we just looked at before. You know, really squeezy here, 2% between the Bollinger Bands. Seeing some support back here from last night, 28 cents. If you could set an alert and buy down there, you'd have 5% to 30 cents. And then, you know, 9% to 31 cents. So that would be a good day trade. But yeah, I don't like buying anything up here unless I see some strong candle action and maybe catch a trend. For 3%, not liking that risk to reward ratio. So all right, that's how I see T-Fuel. Okay. And then let's go back to Altcoin Alert. We'll do one more sort and then I'll throw it open. Let's sort on the Elder Impulse Daily. A lot is bullish. Trying to find some issues. You know what I haven't done lately is short-term sentiment. Do that, and we can find some. Yeah, this is sort of similar to John's social activity sort, I think. The information is pretty similar. So Ample looks intriguing. We've got neutral here, fire, neutral on the hourly, bullish on the daily, neutral on the sentiment, bullish on the short-term sentiment, and the long-term and the daily impulse. That's different. Up 10%. Let's check it out. KuCoin. We have low buy orders on KuCoin for Theta and Rune, both of which we discussed, and neither have been hit yet. So we'll see. Ample fourth. This is interesting. All-time high in May, then a big spike up here in July, 235. Lost quite a bit of that. Has been pumping lately. It's had a pretty good day today. Got up to 163 and dropped since then. Alrighty. Seeing some support here around 143. Not bad. Kind of a bubble going on. I think with some candle action up, this could be worth a trend trade. Maybe here to 3%, to 7%. I'd probably go ahead and do that. I consider it to get 7%. There's a lot of resistance here around 162, 163 area. So yeah, I kind of like that. But I'd be ready to, I'd have enough funds to ladder buy down here if I needed to. Let's say if I bought here, and that goes against me. It drops down in this area below support, you know, I'd be ready to buy another position around 140, 141. So, all right. Well, that's all I have on Altcoin Alert and some of the other coins we've been discussing. Anybody else have any other questions or Altcoin Alert sorts or coins they want to look at? Well, I guess we're a little shy today. Since I'm a little bit pressed for time, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here. I'll hang around afterwards for some additional questions on some other projects. So those of you on the recording, we'll see you next time.